Welcome back, everybody. This is Brother Mutant here. Today we have a viewer requested build. Kevin, this one's for you, buddy. This was a Tiefling Pitborn Chaotic Good Bloodrager. You wanted to go the Azata path and eventually into the Gold Dragon path, which of course we cannot do right now. I made you a Reformed Fiend. I think that was also your request. As far as backgrounds are concerned, you had a choice, in my opinion, of either Kadiran Wanderer or Mendevian Orphan. The Mendevian Orphan gets a bonus to saves against demons, which again plays towards theme. But I wanted the Kadiran Wanderer because they get a bonus or save bonus to. Let's see, what is it in here? Yeah, right there. They get a save bonus to their saves against fatigue and exhaustion effects, something that I thought you'd appreciate. Of course, a bonus to perception and lower nature as being a class skill. I don't think that we actually care about nature, but the perception bonus was again appreciated. So this is a way for us to stop that problem, and we need to talk about that problem first. So I have a character that's level 5 here. We'll level you up here in a moment. I want you to get an idea of what we're talking about. When you rage, whether it's a barbarian or in this case a Bloodrager, which is what you are, when you rage and the fight is over, you crash. It's literally one of those things that we end up having to deal with. So what does the crash mean? The crash literally means that your character is going to have a fatigue effect slapped on them. That fatigue effect isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, it's only there for a minute and then it's done. It literally has a little timer. You'll see it. I'm going to show it to you here in a sec. But the problem is you can't rage again until the fatigue is gone. And that's really the issue here. Fatigue or exhaustion. Who's there? So anything that causes fatigue or exhaustion pretty much levers your character in a big nasty way. Something that we definitely don't want to deal with if at all possible. So that was the rationale behind getting the nice little bonus to your saves against fatigue and exhaustion effects. Now, sadly, there is no roll for crashing, which I'm about to show you here. So notice that my big glowing red aura, that's my Super Saiyan Rage mode. I usually shut the rage thing off for everybody else because it's not something I care about. But you'll see what happens when we kill these guys off. The fight's over. You'll see the little rage spike off of my character, and then you'll see the fatigue kick in for 1 minute and 1 minute only. Now, you may just say, well, just wait a minute until you go into the next room. Yes, but that's buffs wasted then for you and your team. Some buffs are only a round per caster level long. Some are only a minute per caster level long. So you're going to constantly go from room to room, fight, take a knee for a minute, burning up all those buffs, then go into the next room and take another knee after that fight, and that's going to be annoying as hell. So we want to show you ways to solve that problem. So first off, let me demonstrate the move. Come on, you little bug bastards. Give me my turn. Lord, there's a lot of bugs in this area. Take my opportunity, loser. Alright. Cool. Get these guys to finish their turns. Maybe he's going to help finish these guys off. Notice, of course, we have temp HP. That happens when we rage as well. There we go. Now, wait for it. Rage is going to cancel on me here. And that's your fatigue. That's the crash. That's what we're referring to. -2 to strength, -2 to dex. And that sucks too, but it's really the fact that we go into another fight while this is up, you can't rage. So that's part of our issue here. So again, something that we needed to deal with, something we need to discuss. So first, let's show you your character. You got a character with a strength normally of 19 at the start. We're going to put all 5 points into strength, so it's going to finish with a solid 24. We'll have dexterity up to 12. Con, 14. Remember, your con is not only important for your fortitude saves, but it's also important for HP, with center in the front ranks, and again, kind of stupid with your raging. You're going to take a lot of hits. More hit points is always appreciated. Having said that, this also, if I'm not mistaken, gives you more rage rounds, points, however you want to look at it. So again, your rage is based on not only your amount of rage, your level of Bloodrager, I should say, but also the amount of Constitution. So right here, so you equal to 4 plus your Con modifier. After first level, he gained Blood Rage for 2 additional rounds per day per level. So 2 through 20, each of those levels is going to give you 2 more bonus rage rounds, if you will. Notice my rage did not go down. If you look at my character, this is the number of rage I had when I started. Well, how did we do that? Well, that's one of the first things we need to talk about. Notice I've already made you Mythic Hero 1, your level 5 character. I assume by then you'll unlock this. The first thing you should grab, this one is on you, Instrument of Freedom, because of your Azata. Made sense. They may tie that into you needing to grab that if you're going to go Azata. They've yet to say. But I figured, fuck it, might as well grab the thing that makes you Azata kind of anyway. And then we grab Limitless Rage. And this works for Bloodragers. So this literally is my way of doing that. Notice it does more than just make it where you don't use up your Rage. Watch this. Instead, whenever you enter Rage, you get temporary HP for every 2 rounds of Rage you would be limited to without this ability. So, if you look at my character, you see I have 6. So divide that by 2. That's 3 extra hit points. And you may say, who gives a shit about 3 extra hit points? And totally, I agree. But by the end of the build, you'll have well over 40. Which means you're getting a free 20 plus hit points over here on this side. So again, something of value. And again, the fact that it never wears off, you never have to worry about, oh, I'm out of rage. My character now has to relegate themselves to being a crappy fighter and a crappy caster, which is kind of what a Bloodrager is. They're good enough, don't kid yourself. They're just not going to be up there with the fighters just doing the damage. But you do well. And let's explain why that is. Well, firstly, it's weapon choice. Because you cast spells, you don't cast spells like a Magus. You don't cast spells into your weapon and then swing, swing, swing. You don't cast spells and then attack, attack, attack like a Magus can do. You attack with a spell, or you buff with a spell, or you attack with your weapon like most people would do. So, you're a strength-based build, so you can wield a heavy-hitting weapon, which means we don't have to worry about having a spare hand free. Because when you're not wielding the weapon, when you're literally just casting a spell, you will basically hold the staff or the whatever and with one hand, cast the spell with the other, and that's perfectly fine. There is no penalty to that. So we can use something like a Bardiche, or in this case a Glaive, and I happen to know that there's a decent number of Glaives in the earlier part of the game. That doesn't mean it's the best weapon choice for you. Feel free to pick one that makes sense to you. Long Spear is another fine example. You want something, though, that has this quality here. A reach, a very big reach, if at all possible. Obviously, we'd actually rather have this be a 19 or 20 for a crit range, and I don't know if there's a good reach weapon that does that. Bardiche might be one of those things. Matter of fact, I can just gift you the top choices for weapons right now. Let's just do that, shall we? So search and pick. Give it a second here, and while we're doing that, I'm going to go to weapons, and we're going to call it Bardiche, I think is how you spell that. As soon as it comes up on 100, it'll search for it, and I'll just gift you a cold iron Bardiche, not even a magic one, just a generic one, so you can get a feel for what they have to offer. Okay, so Bardiche, cold iron Bardiche, add one. Other one, that's a reach weapon, long spear, I believe is another one. Cold iron long spear, good enough. And I don't think there's many more after that. There might be like one, and I'm just not getting it. But just to give you an idea, and again, you have skill with all these weapons. It's just we have to give you a weapon focus in something at level 1, which we have done with the Glaive. So feel free to switch things up if you feel the need. There's nothing wrong with this. But here's your long spear. 20 times 3, just like we saw in the other guy. 1d8 damage. This one does 1d10 damage, so therefore, in my opinion, it's better. It's slashing versus piercing. I don't know that that makes much of a difference in this game, but it is a thing. Notice that over here for the Bardiche, basically a giant-ass axe, it's a 1920. This would be an ideal crit range. This could be a good weapon. But the downside is I can't find a whole lot in the game, at least in the earlier levels. And remember, they take your gear from you like jackasses. So at the very start of the game, you got nothing. You get like a crossbow if you even ask for a weapon. If not, like the first weapon you find are these two here. You got a flail and you got a goddamn dagger. So I suppose you can use those. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just one of those things where you're not going to be swinging it for like epic damage like we're going to be doing with these bastards. Having said that, though, you could make use of that flail. Notice that the damage on this is +7. It's 1d8, as you can see here. It's terrible crit range. It's only a nat 20, and of course it crits for double the damage, which means they just rolled the damage twice. That sucks, but you'll notice that I'm getting 7, not 5. Why? It's because you're actually not seeing it. Since you don't have anything in your offhand, like a shield, which you could use, shield literally is choking up on the weapon. This is something you can do with like a long sword, short sword, rapier, I think even works, scimitar for sure, falchion, falcata, variety of weapons that, again, are one-handed that you can choke up on and use 2 hands. When you do that, the attack bonus doesn't change, but the damage does. The damage is equal to your strength modifier normally. If you can wield it two-handed, any way you can wield it two-handed, you literally get 50% more strength bonus rounded down. So 5 times 1.5, 50%, would be 7.5, rounded down, it's 7. That's why you're seeing the +7 here. And again, it'd be the same with these guys. You see 7 over here, 7 over here, 7 over here, nothing changes. But if I switch over, say, to this one and just say, nope, I want to try the dagger, notice how it drops to a 5. That's why it drops to 5. You can't choke up on a dagger. There's just no way for you to double hand that shit. So this is the reasoning. And again, they give you a two-handed weapon, they give you a one-handed weapon within like the first couple steps of the beginning of the game. So it's not the end of the world. But it's annoying not to have the weapon that you specifically said, I want to be a weapon-focused bastard in this or that or the other, and not give it to you. So know that that's a thing. From there, notice that for our character, we started, since you're not human, you went tiefling, remember? We went weapon focus, again, pick one. But I would pick a reach weapon, something with long reach, 6 foot, 5 foot, whatever they got for categories. And those are the 3 I think I just listed. There may be another, like Trident might work, but it's a piece of shit. And then I think there's another one, but I can't for the love of God remember. Maybe Earthbreaker, but I don't think so. I think the Earthbreaker is just a 2-footer. That's just a heavy bludgeoning two-handed weapon. So that might be another one. But again, you'll see that when you dip into which weapons you want. So we got weapon focus right off the bat. And with a solid strength, remember it's 20 now, but it was 19 before, so it should be a plus 4 right here. So at level 1, for our swing, you got 4. If you manage to find yourself a glaive, you're at 5, because you got weapon focus. And then you have a BAB of 1 at every level. So it's 5 right now because you're level 5. So at level 1, you'd have a BAB of 1. So it'd be 1 plus 4 plus another 1 for being a weapon-focused weapon. You'd be swinging with a plus 6. And that's before you rage. So you're already starting off with a really good chance to hit. You have no armor, that sucks, but you can wear armor, and you can cast in your armor, which is fucking awesome. So again, for our proficiencies, light and medium armor, shields except tower shields, simple and martial weapons, you have a lot here. And again, with these light and medium armors, you do not suffer from arcane spell failure chance, which is freaking awesome for this character. It literally just allows you just to go around wearing like a breastplate, chain mail, chain shirt, leathers, padded armor, whatever the hell you choose, and just crush shit, casting spells and all the while having fun. Very, very powerful start to a build. Your deity doesn't matter except for the fact that you wanted one that was chaotic good, so that you could be a chaotic good character. That was a restriction on you. And again, you had to be good, if I'm not mistaken, because you're a reformed fiend. It's built into the character. You have no choice but to pick a good alignment. So make sure that that's a thing. From there, nothing really else to write home about except for the fact that you had to choose between the Abyssal Bloodline or the Infernal Bloodline. Now, having said that, I picked Abyssal because, again, Reformed Fiend, you're fighting demons. You were a demon, or you're part demon as your tiefling, whatever. But remember, tieflings are also not only part demons, they can also be part devils. So the Infernal Bloodline does make sense, and there's some fun to be had there because they give you some really good spells. You get like Scorching Ray, you get Fireball for free. You know, they give you a lot of really decent spells. The downside is the buffs that they get are kind of shit in comparison to the Abyssal. For example, the Abyssal, you see my Blood Rage here just gets better and better. Yes, there's a penalty to my armor class, but it just gets steadily more. And you just get more and more attack bonus, more and more damage. This is the ideal build, in my opinion, because again, who doesn't want to hit? You want to hit, you want to hit hard, and that's what the Abyssal Bloodrager does better than just about anybody. So, pretty cool. But you only have those 2 bloodlines, and no, unlike the other Blood Ragers, when you level up, especially when you get to your mythic ranks, which we're just into now, you can't pick the secondary Blood Rager bloodline. Feat, ability, whatever the hell it's called. I'll show it to you. You can't pick it. I'll be able to because I'm cheating, but you won't be able to, and I won't do it for that reason, because I know it's not a valid choice in the game. Which is a damn shame, because at the very least, you think they'd let you be an Abyssal and Infernal bloodline combined, which would be cool. And then maybe that'd be the reason for you being a Reformed Fiend, because you got, you know, Mama and was knocking boots with the devil, and as such you decided that, you know, Mom's a bitch, you know, Dad's where it's at, so we're a Reformed Fiend for that reason alone. And again, I could totally play that up, but again, they will not let you do that. Now, that may change, but I don't think it will. And it's kind of a bummer. Notice as we level up here, we get not only a kind of, start off first. Fast movement, which is awesome because you need to be up front all the time. Uncanny dodge, nice. We don't have a lot in the way of dexterity, but again, that doesn't mean we're not going to get gear that buffs this number up. And I don't like being caught flat-footed. Pretty goddamn awesome. Notice up here we get Blood Sanctuary. We get basically a saving throw against spells that could damage us from our team, whether it's from ourselves or someone else on our party. At least we get a bonus to our saves against them, so we're less likely to hurt ourselves, which, since you're always in the thick of things, is kind of helpful. It's not amazing, but it's definitely there. Notice that we get improved Uncanny Dodge, where we can no longer be flanked, which is, again, money. Because, again, rogues are just going to do their best to just choppity-chop your health off. Now, there's ways around this, but they literally have to have rogue levels exceeding yours by like 4. and that's unlikely, especially if you take this character out solo every now and again or shut XP share off, so you power level your character, so to speak, over everybody else. So you're level 5 when the content really should be like level 3 kind of shit. And again, you won't be able to maintain that all the way to the end of the build, but you should always be slightly ahead of the curve is the goal. Now, having said that, this is not a solo build. Be real clear on this. This is something that you're just going to have to make peace with. And the reason for that is you just don't have the touch armor class to solve that problem. You don't have enough intelligence to solve that problem. And on that, back to our stats of strength of 19, dex of 12, con of 14, our intelligence should be 8. That is a penalty for you being the type of tiefling you are, a pit fiend. So it's +2 to strength, +2 to charisma, and a -2 to intelligence. I took that 8 and brought it up to a 12. You see, to do that, I had to lower my wisdom to 8, but I'm okay with that. And we have a lot of will save bonuses for raging like a son of a bitch anyway, so again, a little bit of penalty to your will saves is not the worst thing in the world. But I did this for 2 reasons. 1, I wanted the extra skill points. 2, there's going to be an ability that we unlock as a Mythic Bastard that will give us 2 more intelligence back. It basically gives you back whatever penalty you had for your race. So obviously that only works on races that had a penalty. Like Dwarves, they have a penalty to Charisma. Elves, penalty to Con. Halflings and Gnomes, penalty to Strength. Again, if you want that 2 points back, you pick that ability, boof, an instant upgrade. And if you get it before you're level 20, key, and this is important here, before you're level 20, if you manage to pick that up, your intelligence goes up 2 points for free, and they give you those skill points that you would have gotten if you had an intelligence of 14. So again, that's still helpful. But make sure to do it before 20, otherwise they won't do it. Because they give you the skill points back during the leveling process. Okay, level 1 we picked again weapon focus glaive. Level 3 dazzling display. Level 5 endurance. Now you may seem a little weird because we haven't taken power attack yet, and there is a reason for that. If we go here and you see the Abyssal, not only do we get free spells at these various levels, and they give them quite late, quite frankly. And of these spells, 2 of them are decent. Stoneskin and Raven Fieldman are alright. Bull Strength is okay, but by then you probably already have a belt of Strength +4. Doesn't mean you can't cast the spell on someone else, though, so I guess it's not the worst thing ever. And Rage is straight up garbage, don't bother. This is one of the reasons I hate the Abyssal Bloodline, because the Infernal one gives you, like, protection from good, which is garbage, but the other 3 spells they give you are pretty sweet. Like, you get Scorching Ray for free, you get Fireball for free, and then I forget what the level 4 ability is. But again, it's still pretty goddamn good. So it's one of those where they get better spells than you'll make do. And again, it's fine, because again, you can get Scorching Ray and you can get Fireball, you just have to be the guy that picks that shit. But you'll notice the other thing you get is these bonus feats. Now these show up at level 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. That's a lot of them. And because of that, I look at stuff and say, well, gee, I get Cleave for free. I like that. Maybe Sunder, maybe Bull Rush is a possibility. Oh, Intimidating Prowess. Oh, Power Attack and Toughness. And I already see a bunch of shit in here that I like. Cleave, Intimidating Prowess, Power Attack, and Toughness. That's 4 of the 5. And I'll happily take Greater Fortitude or some shit just to round it out. But then that means we need to not take these as we level up, which is why you see I don't have Power Attack yet. So we kind of are delaying your damage output. You're still strong, you're still hitting hard, especially when you're 2-weapon wielding like a son of a bitch with that glaive. You're still fine, but you know you would be much better with Power Attack on than not having it at all. Again, minor problem. You just need to get to level 6 to unlock Power Attack. Again, it's free, which is where we're at now. So let's do that, shall we? So we go up here, and I'm going to go to Party Editor, and I'm going to level you up here at level 6. Close it down there. Level up our character. Notice, I'll go over spells too when we get to each of the spells from level 1 through 4, and of course the Azata spells. Notice we need to get Persuasion up to 6 by level 7. That's going to be key. And as such, we want Perception up always, usually Athletic up always, but Persuasion has to catch up. Has to get to at least 6. Eventually we'll pass it, and to the point where we'll always level up Athletics, Perception, and Persuasion. Those 3 numbers will always get to 20 by the end of your build. The reason for that is you're strong, so you might as well be really good at athletics. You're persuasive, because you got a kingdom, and we're going to try to intimidate people in this build as well. More on that later. And, of course, you always want to spot treasure and traps, right? So those things being 20, those are your 3 main skills. You notice that we have 3 mobility. That's just enough for us to do some mobility shit early in the game, as well as to fight defensively. It gives you a bonus to armor class. It's lame. I grant you it's lame. But it's there for a reason. And at least we got a green check mark in it, so it's a little better than normal. Having said that, you'll see that I've also invested in Knowledge Arcana poorly. Once we start unlocking that high intelligence, this one will actually start going up and up and up as well. And we'll end up with a decent knowledge check. Won't be as good as most people on the team. That could be, your wizards and such, but solid enough that if they're not with you, you can be the person that makes that check. Okay, so those are the stats that we care about. Those are the only ones we're working on. We're not even getting use magic device or unlocking it, which is something that I don't normally do. I almost always at least unlock it, and I'm not even going to bother because there's no point. Here's your free feats. Notice some are locked because we don't have power attack. See that? So again, it does require you have the actual prerequisites met. Now again, we're definitely grabbing this one, and it's giving you the thumbs up. The downside is you really had to wait a long time to get there. But now as far as spells are concerned, notice we're still in level 1 for Bloodrager. We'll unlock 1, 2, 3, and 4 level spells for Bloodrager only. The Azata goes from 1 to 7, which is awesome. More on that later. But notice we have Burning Hand, Shield, and Snowball. You don't start unlocking spells until level 4 anyway, so we're not really balls deep into this, quite frankly, yet. But notice that I went with some elemental damage, and you said Gold Dragon, so I'm thinking fire. So we're going to grab pretty much every fire spell I can give you that's worth a damn, at least. So Burning Hands made sense. Shield, because we're two-handed weapon wielding, we can't use a shield at the same time. So I said, fuck it, let's give me the shield spell. It's decent, long-lasting. And as far as spells are concerned, you can grab 6 spells from every level, 1, 2, and 3. So 6 spells, plus your free spell. Again, that's down here in your thumbs down category. So 7 if you include this guy. And then at level 4, you can only pick 5 spells plus your free one. Okay, just so you know. And again, that's not how many spells per day you can cast. That's all dependent on your charisma and how many levels of Bloodrager you are. But as far as how many spells you can pick, you are a spontaneous caster. So be real careful with what you pick. Because once you pick it in this game, there is no take-backsies. Unless you respec your character, and that's just a uber bitch, dude. So, let me walk you through the ones that I think are worth a damn. So, obviously, I picked these 3, so I must like them. And I like them for AoE damage right off the bat, as well as fire, elemental damage, some honest protection, immunity to magic missile. You're up front anyway. Magic missile might be something coming your way. Why would you not want to be protected? And, of course, snowball, different type of elemental damage. And I like cold. There's reasons for that we'll talk about later. But by and large, I like this one because there's no spell resistance. Be real clear. When we talk about your spell book, after I pick this, I'll show you your spell book again. You are going to be at a subpar caster. And then not just because you can only cast levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, but because you don't start casting spells till level 4, which means at level 4, you're considered spell caster level 1. Not 4, 1. So you're always 3 levels behind everybody else. So by level 20, you're a level 17 caster. Be real clear on that. Okay? And it's not going to impact you that much, but that impacts things like spell penetration and things that, like the duration of the spell, how much damage the spell does sometimes could be factored in there. So that could be an issue. So be real clear on that. But I love the fact that no spell resistance is a part of your spell list, because that's going to help you hit them bastards very, very easily for some solid damage. And you may say, you're not a dex build. How the hell am I going to hit this guy with a ranged touch attack or what's called a raise spell? Sure, that's true, but remember, your BAB is always, and I mean always, going up. From +1 all the way to +20 by the end of your build. You got a pretty good chance of hitting a motherfucker. And while, to put it in frame of context, for my Magus builds, I finished with a BAB of 15. I'm not a dex-based build. I have point-blank shot, that's a +1 to my swing. And I have precise shot, which means I do not suffer the -4 penalty to shooting into combat, right? So 15 + 1 is 16. And I don't suffer a -4. So I'm at 16 for an attack bonus, technically. And more with dexterity and blah, blah, blah. But 16 is the number to focus on here, okay? You finish with a BAB of 20, and if you shoot into... You don't have point-blank shot or precise shot in this build, so none of that's benefiting you. So if you shoot into combat, you're at a -4. Well, what's 20 minus 4? 16. You end up with the same damn number, dude. So you're going to be fine. So really, don't worry about, oh, I'm getting race spells when I'm not a race spell guy. You will be okay. And remember, race spells ignore armor because they're touch attacks, so they ignore armor and they ignore shields. So it's easier to hit them. 9 times out of 10, you're more likely to hit a target with a touch attack than you are with a weapon swing, if not equal levels of hitting that target. So there's always that. As far as spells in this list, I can get you one from every element of the 5. So that's fire, cold, electric, acid, and even sonic is up in here. And you could do that. That's 5 of 6, and the 6th spell being shield. That is okay. Notice we could get even mage armor. I'm not going to, but you could. And there's reasons to want this, because there's a mythic ability that allows us to use this spell on ourselves, and we get to add our mythic rank to it. So by mythic rank 10, you could have 14 fucking armor by casting the spell on you, and it would last you for 17 hours a day. You can cast it multiple times because you're a spontaneous caster. That's a huge ass buff, son. Just saying. But remember, that also works from scrolls, wands, and potions, so you don't need to pick it. Remember, you have limited spell picks. So what do I suggest? Am I looking at magic weapon? No. Why? Because it's only a 1 minute per level buff for one. Greater magic weapon, spoiler alert, is coming down the pipe not too long from now, and that's fine. And I don't really need a magic weapon per se right off the bat. You'll find one before too long. I ain't worried about it. What else, though, might you like? Well, again, corrosive touch, ear-piercing scream, auto-hit spell. Enlarged person, you may say, you'll make yourself stronger. There is nothing wrong with this, and I am going to pick this, but not for the reason you think. You won't pick this. This is terrible, because you have an ability as the Abyssal Bloodline that while you rage, which we've just established is infinite now, while you rage, you can activate a toggle that makes you bigger. Sadly, it's broken, but it's called Demonic Bulk. Again, a bug report will be submitted. I'm sure I'm not the only person that's going to complain about this. They got it working in Kingmaker when people modded it in there, so certainly if a modder can do it, the actual devs can fix that shit. But it does the exact same thing as Enlarged Person, but only for you. You rage, you get big. The reason that's important is two reasons. One, you're stronger, awesome. Two, the reach of your weapon is farther. Actually, three reasons. The range of your weapon damage gets better too. So there's plenty of reasons to want to be big. Okay, so I'm grabbing it just to demonstrate to you how that would work, but you will not pick this spell. But what spells do I recommend after that then? Magic Missile is always a classic. Auto hit, gotta love it, and it's got a decent range. So unlike ear-piercing scream, which is okay damage, you gotta work for it, but you get it there. But they can make a saving throw and half that damage. And there's a stagger effect or whatever, but again, they can make the saving throw, which is common, and they'll pass that, and again, not be affected by that either. Magic Missile just does damage. Yes, they may have shield spell up, maybe be immune to magic, but by and large, if they're not, boom, 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 you just hit them with a shit ton of arrows to the face that are auto hit and at really nice range. Solid choice. And I also like, as weird it is to say, protection from alignment. Now you may say, well, you already have shield. Remember, these are different categories. This is a deflection bonus. This is an armor or shield bonus, excuse me. So they will stack for one. B, and I like the flexibility. It could be for chaotic or evil or good or lawful, depending on what you're fighting. Having said that, against true neutral opponents, this is garbage. So true neutral, for those of you that don't know, is usually like wild animals. They don't give no fucks. They're not lawful, they're not evil, they're not good or chaotic. They're just neutral. They're just there to eat things. So this won't help against them one whit. But there's also a bonus to saves, and I appreciate that as well. You can cast it on other people. I appreciate that as well. But again, it's not necessary. I will steer you away from Ray of Sickening because it is a proper save or suck spell, and you may say, well, we got plenty of those. Yes, and I don't need more. But also, Ray of Enfeeblement's coming, and this is the spell you do want. I'm not picking it because, again, thumbs down, you're going to get it for free. But look at this. You literally get this spell. If they make the save, they still are penalized by half of whatever strength you would have sapped. So if you sap 4, they are sapped for 2. If you would have sapped 9, it rounds down, I'm assuming, so you would sap them for 4. So it's still a benefit. And that's why I like this spell. So it's not a save or suck spell, it's a save or something spell. Now, I will say, most people hate True Strike. I differ in this opinion, and there's reasons I differ for this opinion. Because sometimes you just need to make sure you hit that motherfucker. And a plus 20 to your next swing, next round, is helpful. It's not as helpful as if it were to be activated this round. Well, there should be a way to solve that problem. It's broken currently, but again, much like everything else, early beta, bug reports will be submitted. I guarantee you people will fix that. Having said that, once that's fixed, this becomes money. Because what this does is, at the start of a combat, if you have Sorceress Reflex, which is the thing I'm thinking about, you can cast a single spell from level 1, or any spell you can cast that is two levels lower than your highest spell. So level 4 spells, no. Level 3 spells, also no. But 2 and 1, you'll be able to eventually cast any of them as a swift action. Now imagine you want to charge across the battlefield with that super zippy speeds that you have, because again, you're a barbarian Bloodrager guy with extra feet movement, right? Start of the combat, initiatives is rolled, and you have that Sorceress Reflex. Activate True Strike as a swift action, and still charge with a full attack at the end of it. Well, not a full attack, but a solid attack at the end of it, hitting the motherfucker with a big solid plus 20 to that swing. It's a nice way to start off a fight, yes? So that's why I'm recommending it. So what else would I recommend? So we got True Strike is in here. Magic Missile, maybe. Ear Piercing Scream, maybe. Shocking Grasp. I would shy away from Reduced Person for the same reason that you are a strength-based build, you're not a dex-based build. I could make you a dex-based build, by the way, where you have enough strength to be of value, and you could be like a Dexer, where you literally are raging and throwing weapons, like javelins and throwing axes and being a dick that way. It's a completely different feel, and it's not exactly my favorite choice for you, but you could do that, but I would not on this build. Again, Corrosive Touch is a solid choice, Shocking Grasp is a solid choice, but the downside of those is, again, Spell 10, Spell Resistance, all that shit's an issue. So what are we going to grab? Let's just grab a large person now, just to walk you through it. Okay, now, just to show off, here's your power attack. If I were to equip the weapon you should be using, notice how I'm doing more damage than you think. Not only am I doing the +7, I'm getting, what is that, 6 more here? Why is it 6 more? -2 should be +4. Well, it's because, if you look at power attack, it won't let me lock it in, but you can see it here. If you use a weapon 2 hands, you get 50% more damage from power attack. So instead of -1 +2, it's -1 +3. And we're going to make it better than that later as well. That's why you're seeing a +6. This is why you suddenly just spike in damage at level 6. Okay? So let's keep going. You're going to do a level 7. And I'm going to assume you're Mythic rank 2 at this point. Still not, let's be real clear, still not going to be Azata yet. So, Fiend. We probably, let's actually catch this guy up. Catch these 2 guys up. These ones that are 7s, 1, 2, 3 of them, should always go up at this point. Okay, you always want to be persuasive, you always want to be perceptive, and you always want to be athletic. From there, extra points go into Knowledge Arcana only. Yeah, there's Lord Nature here, but again, you're not wise in any way, shape, or form. And again, you're not going to push this number up. You got to choose between 1 or 2 things. You probably need to focus on one more thing. Now notice, we can grab Cornugon Smash now. This was the reason we needed Persuasion up to 6 by this level. We're at 7 now, so we're fine. It's not the point. We were lounging there for a while. So now we actually have it up to where it needs to be. This is part of the build. So this is going to be what's called the Cornugon Smash build. For those of you who've never seen that, this is what this means. You need a weapon focus, Dazzling Display, power attack, we have all those things. You need Cornugon Smash, which we just picked up, and then you want one last thing minimum, and it's called Shattered Defenses, which is also, by the way, available for you right now as well. Right here. But again, between the 2, you want Cornugon Smash first. Once you have all those things I just listed, including this guy here, anytime you make a target shaken, frightened, panicked, whether it's you or someone else that did it, all your attacks, physical attacks on that target are at a flat-footed opponent. They're considered flat-footed because of your Shattered Defenses. That's a Cornugon Smash build. You could go one step further and get way down here in the D's, right here, Dreadful Carnage, where if you kill somebody, you scare everyone in a big fucking circle centered on you, who you just killed, and that could intimidate and scare all them. Now you have all kinds of flat-footed targets. It's not necessary, but it's there, and you may do this. Now, having said that, that's one build, and by itself is strong enough. 2 things that we got going for us is because of our free feats that we're getting. Not only do we have Cornugon Smash available, or Power Attack, available for free, and Intimidating Prowess, another thing that we want for free, that allows us to add our Strength modifier to our Charisma modifier before we add that to our Persuasion skill check, so it's even more likely that we're scaring people. But there's also a free feat called Cleave. Well, that allows us, with a very long, heavy-hitting weapon like the one you have, with Cleave, we can do the Cleave Build. The Cleave Build requires you to have 4 feats. That's Cleave, Cleaving Finish, Great Cleave, and Improved Cleaving Finish, and we're going to get all those too. So we basically got 2 builds all in one here, and you're just going to be a Ginsu chef when it comes to like hitting things with that big-ass fucking sword on a stick. Level 2 spells that I like, remember you can only get 6 of these, plus the free one, and the free one's listed down here with the thumbs down as Bull Strength. I do like stuff that buffs us, actually. So Mirror Image, Resist Energy, See Invis, that's 3 right there. And then I like things like Fire Damage, Scorching Ray. Stay away from Molten Orb, it's shit. But I like Scorching Ray, and I still like Frigid Touch. And that leaves you one more just to pick what the hell you want. Like, I don't know, Acid Arrow. Again, that's 3 different elements. We got Acid, we got Fire, we got Cold, all in one level of spells. Again, which you take first is on you. I like Resist Energy right off the bat, though, because it's solid protection. I like Mirror Image because it's also solid protection. You may say, well, you're not getting me any damaging spells. We're getting there. I ain't worried about it. And you have a weapon, and you're crushing with that weapon. But we'll get you Scorching Ray next. Okay, now notice your Mythic Hero, level 2 now, assuming this is accurate for when you get it. What are we going to pick here? Well, we have a variety of things that we like. I want to show you one that sticks out right now. We just got it. Power Attack Mythic. This allows us to take that +2 bonus from Power Attack and turn it into +3. When you may just say, well, aren't we already swinging at a +3? Yes. And because we're swinging at a +3 with a two-handed weapon, it actually jumps up to +5. So now for every -1 to your swing, which will be -6 by the end of this build, by the way, you'll be at a +5 per minus. So -6 +30 damage with that big hogging weapon of yours. Tell me that shit ain't fucking sexy. And you got that right now at level, what are we, like 7 right now? Pretty badass. Okay, now, to do the next part, I have to actually unlock stuff. And this is where mistakes are made. Okay, so notice we're going here where it says ignore class and feat restrictions. Click that one. All Mythic Pass. Come over here and we're going to do that and that. We're going to say, let's assume you're level 8 when you're unlocking your Azata Mythic path. And again, this is a guess. It's a ballpark guess. So here's level 8. Remember, strength, always strength. These 3 always, the 3 there, the 7's going up to 8. And again, we only had the 3 points anyway. Boom. Spell, let's get you something that does some damage. Another fire spell, Scorching Ray. Sounds good. Cool. Now, notice we have Azata. Right there. Notice, because I had to unlock Azata Fancy, I've unlocked everything. So there's shit in here you shouldn't have access to, like this. You don't have a Bane weapon. How the hell can you pick this? So you shouldn't. But notice, you could be tricked into thinking you could grab the second Bloodrager Bloodline. It's not viable. You can't grab this because of the type of Bloodrager you picked. They won't let you. Not even to pick it and grab Infernal, which is way the hell down here. And I think they should, because look at that shit. Scorching Ray, Fireball, Shout. Those are 3 really good spells you could have got for free. And all this other stuff, and all the other cool shit that comes along with it. But it won't let you legally, so I'm not going to pick it now, even though I've cheated. The other option to me would have been, if they would have let you, I would have gone Gold Dragon, because, again, you said you wanted to go Gold Dragon Mythic Path eventually. Why not set it up where that's your partial bloodline? Again, they won't let you. It's illegal for this build, so don't pick it. And what am I going to grab then? Well, I am going to grab a level 3, something that gives us extra spells. Abundant Casting. Remember, you have +4 spells for level 1, 2, and 3. You don't have level 3 yet, or if you do, you just unlocked it. Bane. These are your Azata spells. On this list, the ones that I would think are mal to you: Challenge Evil, Command, Bless. That's it. Level 1 spells. But notice how we have 4 more uses a day. We should only have 2. Should only have 2. Should only have 2. We have yet to unlock 3 and 4 right now. But we're going to. Okay? Now, let's just go to level 9. Just by itself. Okay? And from here, we're going to grab that one, that one, and then 1 point left. Here. Cool. What are we going to grab for a feat? Remember, we already said it. Shatter Defenses. And notice we've unlocked everything, which is a mistake. This one was available, and you can see that it's available because everything's green. The way to solve this problem, this is our next pick. I'm going to grab Cleave. And for free spells, this is level 1. Which ones did I say I wanted for level 1? Oh, Magic Missile. Level 2. Frigid Touch. Okay. If I want to take away that restriction, where we've unlocked everything, you just need to go back into here and shut that back off. You will still be Azata, so don't freak out about that. Actually, I need to go back here again. I almost forgot. I need to level up. So I'm going to go 10 and level 4. Okay. You want that one, you want that one, you want that one. And level 3 spells now. You want Vampiric Touch, Lightning Bolt, or Fireball. You know, you're a Fire Dragon guy type, right? So fire makes sense, so go Fireball. Greater Magic Weapon. I like a nice buff that's hours long and is a solid buff. That's why we didn't want to get magic weapon, because again, you can't replace them. If I could replace the spell, then I would have totally grabbed it earlier and replaced it once I have this. But there's no need, and again, there's no way to do that without being weird. For level 4, notice we're getting not only another mythic feat, but we're also getting superpowers. We're going to finally grab Destiny Beyond Birth. This is the one that gives you your penalty back, your racial penalty. That's the -2 to intelligence. So my intelligence that was a 12 just jumped to a 14, and I'm going to get all kinds of free skill points next time I level up. So that's the one I'm talking about. Notice for superpowers, you can only get 2, and it's plenty. Trust me when I say there's a lot in here. And there is really no wrong answer here, by the way. Again, I'll show you the ones that I'm not going to tick first. All skilled, as an example. A plus, was it? Mythic rank. Wow, to all your skills. That's literally mythic rank will be level 10 eventually, so that's a +10 to all your skills. Notice that when we do a skill check, you roll twice and we choose the better result. That's basically advantage. You're skilled with every weapon, every piece of armor, and you can equip and wield anything you want. Which means if it says only monks can wear this, fuck you, I can do what I want. I'm all skilled. That's power. I'm not doing that, but you could go that route. I would do this more on a build that has enough intelligence points to actually diversify those skill points everywhere. You know, a nice archaeologist build, for example, would be a good skill monkey with all skill. This would be amazing. Having said that, favorable magic. You have spells. You also have Azata spells now. So again, plenty of choices here. Notice what this gives you. Enemy has to do saving throws against your attacks. They have to roll twice, so basically have disadvantage. We do concentration checks and we try to overcome spell resistance. We get to roll twice and take the best of the results, so we have advantage on those checks. If we do damage with a spell where if they make the save and it normally gives them half damage, think of your fireball spell, it's now they take 75% of damage. They only save 25%, take 25% less, however you want to think. So that's nice, but I'm not taking that. Zipping magic, single target magic, where if I hit one guy, then I can also hit another guy within range just for free. And again, also some extra damage on top of that. It's cool, but you don't have a lot of single target spells. So less important for me. Supersonic speed. Now this one you may think would be something I would want. And I do want it, but since I need to pick 2, this is going to have to be one that I pass on. Basically, the permanent haste on your character. Can't be dispelled, it's always on. You get an extra attack. You got a miss chance to you like crazy because you basically have the effect of blur on you all the time. Target spells aimed at you have a 10% chance to straight up miss, but that has to be specifically aimed at you. All the damage from area attacks against you is halved, so literally, even if you didn't make the save, 100 points of damage coming your way, it's 50. That's not bad. In fact, that's quite good. So the stuff I'm going to get instead must be really good. Life bond friendship. This is one that's weird. I have a hard time explaining this one, but if you read through it, basically it's your team never dies. They keep pushing their fucking luck. And if they all are dead, you have to heal them. Someone has to heal them before the fight's over. Because if they're all dead and you're still alive, you die from the strain of trying to keep them all fighting. You also get a couple of teamwork feats for free. And you supply those teamwork feats for free to everyone in a circle around you up to 50 feet. So again, pretty damn badass. There's some good teamwork feats in there. But on you, passing on that. So what does that leave for us then? Incredible Might, which we're taking now, and Marvelous Endurance, which we're taking later. This one is just going to add a shit ton of damage to your character. If you don't want to, you can turn the toggle off, or this toggle on, I should say, and give the half of your bonus to your whole goddamn team. That's like +5 to their attacks and +5 to their damage. Period. And again, that's for the whole party except you. If you shut that back off, basically, keep Incredible Might to yourself, so to speak, you get a +10 to all your shit, and they have a saving throw every time you smack a guy around or charge somebody. So a critical hit or charge someone, which we're going to charge a lot, by the way, in this build. They roll on a 1d100 table, and any of these things can happen to them. Instant kill. Doesn't matter. Just fuck you, you die. Or you're exhausted, or the bad guy is exhausted, or any of these other things can happen, which is pretty freaking cool. And I like that. And I like the bonus to my attack, and I like the bonus to my damage equal to my mythic rank. That's +10 to your swing, +10 to your damage. That's nice. From here, go with Bane. It's nice to hamper the bad guys, and there's no save. At least I don't think so. Maybe there might be a will save on that one. Anyway, level 2 Azata stuff. I like holding animals. Maybe you literally are so forceful with your will as a Bloodrager and barbarian son of a bitch that animals are scared of you to the point where they're paralyzed with you talking to them. From there, let's do Castigate. Sounds good. Okay. Now, notice Character, no, spell book. Notice we're already up into spells that we didn't have access to a moment ago, and I want to show you this. Notice Rejuvenating Poem. You can't be fatigued, you can't be exhausted. Okay, you understand that? That literally means that when I cast this spell, it should take it away. Well, remember, we said what happens when we rage. Well, once the rage crash comes along, what happens? That's right, we literally become fatigued. Well, if you don't want to wait until a minute goes by to run into the next room, you have a spell now that can take that fatigue away from you. That's at your beck and call. By the way, you also get a cool ass dragon pet. And he has spells, or she, whatever, has their own spells, which are fucking awesome. They get better spells than you do, quite frankly. Well, maybe not better. Just a lot more of them. Now remember, we want to rage. And just murder this. Bam! Take that. Bam! Take that. Now remember, the rage crash is going to go on. There we go. Now remember, we have a spell. Level 2, called Rejuvenating Poem. So kick on that spell. See if it works. I haven't tested this yet, so this is actually all new. Oh, hell. Damn it. There's nothing that I can do other than rest, which is going to take away my fatigue. You suck. Alright, let's go to one more fight.
Let's hear you cry.
Sorry, forgot to rest and get my spells back. Here we go. Let me get it, Kappas. Eat my dragon oil. Come and get it. I'm both moist and delicious. Alright. Come on. She's really good at shooting stuff. Another annoying feature of this fighting this way, because she will literally screw up my fight. Alright. Because I have to be able to do that. Okay. Okay. Wait for the crash now. Alright. There we go. There's our crash. Now, we are fatigued. This means we cannot rage. Even if I were to walk into another fight right now, there's no way for me to rage because, again, you see it's shut off. They literally block you from it because of the fatigue. Eventually, you become a Bloodrager who can never be tired by fatigue. It's like level 17 or something, so it's late. But it's awesome. So at level 2, though, for Azata, we can do a Rejuvenating Poem. If it works, it should strip this off. Bam. And just like that, you see our rage came back. It's time to do it. Also, you can't charge, by the way, which is something else that we like to do in this build. So I just wanted to show you that that's something that's going to unlock for you relatively early. I mean, hell, this is not halfway through the game. Well, maybe halfway through the game right now. So not bad. So let's go up to level 11 and then Mythic rank 5. 11. Again, always the same. Remember, we just got a lot of intelligence back. So we got a lot of points to spend. And I suggest you dump them in here. And again, you see we're doing real well now for Knowledge Arcana. Not the best, but we're doing all right for someone with an intelligence of 14. I'm pretty happy with that. What are we going to grab here at level 11? I am going to grab Cleaving Finish. You see the big thumbs up already anyway on it. Very nice. For spells, level 3. I like Vampiric Touch. I like Protection from Energy. I like Haste. That's 3 of the 5, of the 6, sorry, that we have. So 2 here as well. So we only have 1 more to pick after that. So if I grab, like I said, Vampiric Touch, Protection from Energy, and or Haste in whatever order I choose, we literally get to pick 1 more spell after that. Mythic rank, Azata. What are we going to pick? This is level 5. I am suggesting you grab Mythic Charge. We charge a lot, and you don't have to just charge for the very first round of combat. You can charge multiple rounds. Zap, 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 bounce across the battlefield like a goddamn spastic monkey. And that's your thing. And you do extra damage with that. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it gets you in the thick of things right away, which is kind of going to be important for this build. From here, let's get Haze of Dreams. These, let's get Unbreakable Heart. These other ones kind of suck. Sleep, and Hypnotism. Haze of Dreams might be okay, and I think we have no choice but to pick it anyway. For over here, Cacophonous Call, Aid, solid choice. Over here, now we're at level 3 spells. I like Prayer, Litany of Eloquence. This one's a weird one. It's a swift action spell. It only lasts for 1 round. There's no save. And you basically take away, unless they're immune because of spell resistance or mind effect and charmed effects, you literally lock up one guy for 1 round. They're not paralyzed. They just don't get to act. It's just like you don't get a fucking turn. And notice how it's a swift action within close range, which means I don't have to touch them or anything. So I can literally shoot you at a distance with that, say, fuck you, sit your ass still, I'll be with you in a second. And then go and attack your friend. Not him. Why him? Not him. Because if you attack him, it breaks the effect. Any damage to that doofus snaps him out of it. But I can swift action, lock a dude down, ideally, and then attack his buddy. And I've wasted your turn and hopefully killed your friend in the same time. See the appeal? Other stuff in here, Heroism, Good Hope. And I like Good Hope because it's AoE, teammate friendly, and while we're going to get a morale bonus to strength, or to our attack bonus and to our damage equal to our mythic rank. And this is a morale bonus as well to those same things. So that it won't stack. We do get a bonus to saving throws, ability checks, and skill checks, and that's shit that you didn't have. So that's a nice bump. And it's AoE, so it's teammate friendly. So again, you and your whole goddamn team get that fucking bonus. And it dispels Crushing Despair, so multiple uses for this ability. Okay, going on. Let's do 12 and 6. And I'm going to rank these up. Every time I get an even number, I'm going to get another one in here at this point. Okay? And again, I don't know that that's the appropriate way to do it. But again, we're trying to theory craft here. More strength. Yes, please. More. Gimme. And at this point, you should have enough points that you should get 4 points every time. So you really should be putting it into Athletics, Arcana, Perception, and Persuasion at all times. Is my suggestion to you. Notice here, we can grab whatever the hell we want. But what do we want? Toughness is nice, temp HP. Bull Rush is interesting, but the more I get into it, same with Sunder Armor, I'm not a fan. I do like Greater Fortitude, Intimidating Prowess, and Toughness, though, and we have 3 more picks to grab. One here, 12, one at 15, and one at 18. So if those are the 3 we grab, those are the 3 you should grab. But I'm going to grab Intimidating Prowess. Remember, this is the one that adds our Strength modifier to our Persuasion skill, in addition to our Charisma modifier, something that we care about all, well, 2 of these abilities. The third ability you care about is Con, because extra Fortitude and extra hit points and extra Rage. So Strength, Con, and Charisma are your 3 abilities that you give a shit about. So Strength and Charisma both going up with gear, I assume you're going to grab. Your Persuasion skill for Intimidation checks only, which includes our Cornugon Smash. We're trying to intimidate them, remember. That goes up as well. So that's a nice upgrade for you. Level 1 spell. Where are we at now? This is our last one. This is our last one. What are we going to grab? True Strike is waiting for me. Level 2 spell we're going to grab. I'm going to grab... See Invis. I don't like it when things are fucking invisible around me. Conan would hate it. I would hate it too. What are we going to grab here for level 3 spell? How about we grab that Vampire Touch now? That gives us some temp HP. And damages the bad guy. Sounds good. What do we got here for mythic rank? 6 for Azata. For 6, I'm going to go for something that gives us the ability to really wail on the target. Flawless attacks. Remember, you're going to have a BAB of 20 by the end of the build. That means the main attack is going to get a 20. Then the next one below that will be a 15, then a 10, then a 5. So you have 4 attacks. The iterative attacks, which means the ones after the first one. Alright, -5, -5, and -5. That's why it's 20, 15, 10, and 5. This takes it away and puts it in place of -4. So instead of a 20, 15, 10, 5, it's going to be 20, 16, 12, 8. That's way better. So your iterative attacks are more likely to hit. From here, remember the one we said we wanted? Marvelous Endurance. And we didn't talk about this one yet. This one basically gives you regen all the time. Now the good news is you're going to be in the front ranks, which means you're going to have plenty of opportunity to regen. But also remember, you have temp HP. Temp HP don't regen. So until you get to the point where all your temp HP is gone, you won't even see this kicking in. But once you do, and like you can take a nasty hit or two, and you're just like, oh fuck, where did all my temp HP go? It's okay, because you regenerate now, and hopefully you can capitalize on killing that bastard, do what you have to do, and recover from it because you're going to regenerate. And you will regenerate a significant amount. Here, let's just grab Haze of Dreams, and I think that's our last pick of that one. Here, I'm going to grab Hideous Laughter, because you're a barbarian that makes them laugh. Why not? Here, we're going to say, oh, Instant Enemy is great, but it's not great for you because you don't have any favorite enemies, so this is a terrible idea. So this doesn't work, and I don't think it ever is going to. Overwhelming Grief is a solid choice. Crushing Despair is good. Heroism, Hold Person. Prayer, I like Prayer because it's a bonus and a penalty all in the same time. Bonus for you and your team, penalty for the bad guys. And it's a luck bonus and a penalty. So something that we can stack with our morale bonuses that we already have. You have no choice but to take both those Boom. Just to show you your spell book for the Azata now. Notice that again, not only do we got these level 2 stuff and all these new spells, level 3 opened up and we got even more new spells, Nature's Grasp, Optimistic Smile, and Rainbow Dome, which is one of my new favorite spells, plus it looks tits. Chaotic Healing, Deadly Beauty, another one of my new favorite spells, Waterfall, decent spell, broken, it's not working correctly, but it still does some stuff that you will enjoy. Very nice spell. Just wanted to show you that you have other stuff that's unlocked that you just didn't even talk about. Level 13. What we're going to grab for level 13. How about we grab ourselves the things we always level up now. And we get ourselves something in the G's called Great Cleave. Moving on. Level 4 spells now, baby. What do we like in here? Remember, you can only pick 5 in here, not counting Stone Skin, because that's your freebie. I like Shout. I like Fear, because again, remember, it doesn't matter how you made them afraid. It doesn't even matter that you made them afraid. So as long as they're shaken or frightened or panicked, thanks to your Shadow Defenses, they're flat-footed to your attacks. So this is a nice way to soften them up that way. Fear is the best spell out of those 3. There's Cause, Fear, there's Scare, and then there's Fear. Cause, Fear, and Scare suck because they have an HD cap. This has no cap. Doesn't mean it's going to work. But the good news on this one is even if they make their will save, they're at least shaken for 1 round, again, unless they're immune to that effect. So this is a decent spell. Notice, of course, Dragon's Breath is here. You got to grab that. Enervation is another favorite of mine. So is Control Fireball. And those would probably be the 5 that I would focus on. Now, keep going. Level 14 and level 7. 14, remember, you're going to pick the same thing every time. Level 4 spell. Again, I like Enervation. It's a race spell, and you may say, why do you care? Well, 1, there's no save, but there is spell resistance. That's a problem. Having said that, this stacks with itself. Whether it's you casting it or someone else on the team casting it, if you and your teammate both cast Enervation on the same bad guy and you keep hitting him, and he's not immune to negative levels, that's a key, and no spell resistance as well, they're constantly going down in levels to the point where if you take them to level 0 or lower, they're dead. So if you get into a fight where the guy is just a dick, and this guy is not immune to spell resistance and he doesn't have native level protection, you and your teammate should just enervate the motherfucker until he has 0 levels and basically doesn't exist anymore. Because that's a way to kill him. Also, they stack. Also, every negative level that you have or they have, that's a minus to your saves across the board. And again, that stacks. So if you have a -4 negative levels, you have -4 to all your saves. Same works on them. Go to Mythic rank, Azata, level 7. Now, we have choices. I like some things, let's point them out to you. Rupture Restraints is interesting because you don't want to be paralyzed ever. And you don't really have any spells that would protect you necessarily from that. You have songs. Some of your songs will protect you from that shit. But without going into that, and they're very limited, this is a possibility. Having said that, you also have your Pet Dragon, and that Pet Dragon has a lot of Oracle spells, including Freedom of Movement, which would make a lot of this shit go away. So I don't think you need that one. What else? I like Magic Nullification. Kind of thematically fits for like a barbarian, blood-wielding son of a bitch, where they just like, you know what, magic doesn't work on me today. And I'm assuming you have a limited number of activations of this, but I don't know that. It might even dispel buffs on you, so be careful of that shit. But by and large, if you really come into a fight where it's like a bunch of whizzes like kicking your ass, well, I'm magic immune now. How you like me now, bitch? Oh, we're screwed. Yeah, you're screwed because I got a big pokey stick. So this could be of value. If not that one, you've done a lot of fire damage. And there's this thing called Ascendant Element Fire. This will allow you to do fire damage where you can ignore the resistances or fire immunities of bad guys, like demons, for example. And this would be a good way of fucking him over. And I kind of dig that. Kind of goes the theme with your Gold Dragon style. In here, Cacophonous Call, sure, why not? Here, level 3, I'm going to grab me Crushing Despair, because fuck those guys. Level 5 now, I'm going to grab myself Constricting Coils. Between it and Hold Monster, it's the same exact spell. This one does damage, this one does not. So it's a no-brainer. You have an option of both, you only need the one. You want the one that does damage. From there, Dominate Person, Hold Monster, Mind, Fog, all solid choices. Greater Command is even interesting, where you're barking orders at bad guys and they just do what you say. Sit, stay, run, and they'll do it. Kind of cool. Notice again, just to re-emphasize some points here, Azata, new spells. Again, we had these one we talked about already. Look at 5. We got new ones as well. Friendly Hug, Second Breath, Sudden Squall, and again, some of these are pretty damn good. And I've tested them, so again, there's stuff to talk about because some are busted. They don't work right or they don't work at all. Level 15. Get it? Level 15. What you got there for me, son? What you got for me? 15. We're going to pick up Improved Cleaving Finish. And this is the last part of the Cleaving Finish build. Improved Cleaving Finish, for those of you that don't know. So the way Cleaving Finish, I should have told you what this does. Cleaving Finish works is if you kill somebody with anyone within range of your melee weapon, which has a really good reach, you swing again. But once and one only. You swing and you hit, you swing and you miss, doesn't matter. But that was what Cleaving Finish does for you. Improved Cleaving Finish, you keep swinging until you run out of bad guys to hit. You don't have to keep killing them, but you kill one, and then you swing and hit his brother. Then you swing and hit his next brother. Then you swing and hit his sister. Then you swing and hit the sack of rats that you basically brought to the fight. This is a joke for me, by the way. Improved Cleaving Finish builds in the past for like D&D and Pathfinder, games that had stuff similar to this, like in pen and paper. A running joke for me and my friends where we take a sack of rats and we take it to the fight, and when the fight would start, the barbarian or the fighter, whoever had the Cleaving Finish abilities, would throw the sack of rats on the ground in front of the main bad guys. They're like, what the hell is the rats going to do to us? It wasn't for you, it was for me. It's easier for me to hit a rat and kill it than it is for me to hit you and your friends and kill either of you. So if I hit one rat and kill it, I do a big swinging circle with my Cleaving Finish on every bad guy within range. That includes the rats, that includes you, that includes your friends, and we just attack, and just shred some shit. And it was broken beyond all broken, and the DM got pissed at us. But it was damn funny, and it makes me still want to do it. Here I'm going to grab Toughness. Again, Greater Fortitude will be the last one we grab, but Toughness is a solid choice here. I'm going to grab, was this our last one for level 2? Yes. I honestly think Acid Arrow. If not, Protection from Arrows is garbage. Maybe Eagle Splendor. False Life is okay. I would shy away from Blindness. Animal Aspect is not bad, but we have Greater Animal Aspect coming our way, and I'm going to pick it instead. Like right here. See that one? That one I actually do like, but I'm not going to grab this one just yet. We have 2 still to pick. I'm going to get Protection from Energy now. For level 4, I'm going to grab more fire. Sure, why not? Cool beans. Let's go to here and here. 16 and 8. Oh, we're going to get 16. We got more strength, that's what. Bunch of skill points. And Stone's going to finally come online, thank God. More Azata. And what we're going to pick for a level 8 Azata. It is the one thing we just picked up. Toughness Mythic. It's not the best choice here. Not best, sorry. It's not the only choice here. This one will give you twice as many HP as to what Toughness gave you. Toughness gave you, by the end of your build, 20 HP. So this will give you 40 by the end of your build. Fuck yes. That's amazing. That's a lot of HP. So up to you. You don't need that one. Sorcerer's Reflex is appealing. It's broken. It doesn't work right now. But if you could get it to work, this is amazing. See that swift action? After the first, you can cast the first spell after an initiative roll as a swift action. If that were true, then I could do things like I said, True Strike. And it's a swift action now, free. Well, not free action, swift action. And I could literally charge across the battlefield and attack you with a plus 20 to that swing. Tell me that shit ain't appealing. But it's broken, it's not working. When it's working, the devs will fix it, because I guarantee you, once people saw this, they're like, ooh, gimme, and figured out it's broken, and they've submitted bug reports. I will do the same. But it's a thing. Other than that, there's also Emergency Potion, and this one's almost better. Not quite. There's differences, let me put it that way. This one works all the time, so there's that. Doesn't have to be right after the first start of the combat. This one works anytime you need to drink a potion. It's a swift action, and this one does work. The downside of this is you have potions that aren't the best spells ever, where you have spells that are attack spells, that you, like Fireball, that you might want to unleash. Why? Because at the start of the combat, if you get your initiative before everyone else, they're clustered nice and tight, right? Perfect chance for a swift Fireball, and then run in and stab them with a pokey stick at the same combat round. Tell me that you don't want to do that. So again, Sorcerer's Reflex has its place, but Emergency Potion does too. So it's kind of on you on that one, but I'm going to take Toughness, because why not be a tough motherfucker? Looks like we grabbed all of them. Here, I'm going to grab... let's get Overwhelming Grief. Overwhelming Grief is the one that literally, armor penalty, takes away their dex. This is the definition of flat-footed. So if you need to set somebody up for like your sneak attacker, this is the way to do it. Hit them with this bastard. If they're affected by it, which again you will know, not only will they be flat-footed, they'll also have a massive penalty to their armor class as well. Well, massive too. Still important. here, I like, let's dominate some people. Make them work for us for a change. How about here? Let's, Serenity is a nice attack spell-ish. Overwhelming Presence is a good one. Should be showing you, of course, that your dragon, they won't let you actually pick his spellbook anymore. But if you pick on your dragon, you can see his spellbook this way because he's a spontaneous caster. These are his spells. He's not done yet. He gets all the way up to level 8, the little fucker. And you can see he's a healing son of a bitch, and he has spells that you care about, like Freedom of Movement, like Restoration, like Death Ward, and others. So he's going to be really, really good. He's even got an attack spell or two, or like lockdown spell or two, like Chains of Light, no spell resistance, amazing spell, paralysis spell. He's got Dispel Magic, Greater Dispel Magic at that. So again, he's got some stuff going on that's pretty useful. And of course, he's got that kicking little Dragon Sonic Breath Weapon, which is just fucking awesome. Now, moving on, level 17. Cool. Give me that stuff with things. Well, we're going to grab at 17. 17, I'm going to get you improved critical range for your weapon of choice. Now, again, I picked Glaive. You could have picked Bardiche. You could pick whatever you want. This is our list, by the way. So, notice, where did it go? These are the ones that are exotic weapons that you don't have access to because we didn't pick it. But these are the ones you did have access to. And in here, I'm looking for the ones that would be reach weapons, the ones that have the longer reach. Scythe is not. It's a big hog and stick with a big hog and blade on it, but still 2-foot weapon. Same with quarterstaff. It's a big hog and stick, but it's still a 2-foot weapon. Long spear works. Nope. Glaive works. I don't think Earthbreaker does. I don't think there's any bludgeoning weapons, matter of fact, for that matter, that is a reach weapon. Which kind of makes sense, I guess, because they'd have to be top-heavy as hell. But again, Bardiche is your other one. So again, we're going with the Glaive because that's your weapon of choice. Keep going. 18 and 9. Okay. Got that. We got this. We got you two. We're going to grab that Great Fortitude. That's our last one. Bonus to our Fortitude saves, not that we care. Last spell pick here. Lightning Bolts screaming at you. Greater Animal Aspect is a solid choice. So Stinking Cloud, you will be immune to poison at level 20 because of your demon, your abyssal background. But I'm going to grab this one, actually, the Greater Animal Aspect, for a reason. This guy here can buff you a variety of ways, but more than just that. It lasts for a decent amount of time. This is the second bonus it gives you. It also gives you the bonus of what Animal Aspect would give you. The weird thing is this one is either broken or the tooltip is incomplete. So, for instance, let's say you do the Raptor one where you run 30 feet faster. This is basically Expeditious Retreat. Now, yes, it's a high-level spell to get 30 feet faster, but there's reasons to want it. It lasts for a good long while. The other is the Animal Aspect, a lower version of this spell, has this ability too, but instead of being 30 feet, it's 20. And it lasts for the same amount of time. Well, the way this spell works is that you run for 30 feet extra around for not 1 minute per level. It's actually 1 round per level. Then when that shuts off, it's still been doing the 1 minute per level for the 20 foot. It makes more sense when you cast the spell, trust me on that. But again, basically there's 2 buffs here. The Gorilla buff, the big one that you're seeing here, and then the minor one that's from the earlier spell. They give you both of them. But the big one, the one that you're seeing right here, is only 1 round per level. They wear off very quickly. The other buffs, though, last for the full 1 minute per level. Okay, so it's a way to make you faster, make you stealthier, and so on and so forth. Your choice. Here, I'm going to grab me. We already have Crushing Despair from the other spell book, so we don't need it. I like Shout, though. And this is another nice spell because it's another one that's no spell resistance, and this is accurate. It's terrible damage. There's a stun in there. Again, the saving throw for half damage and ignoring the stun, but I love AoEs that can hurt multiple guys, and I don't have to worry about spell resistance, spell pen checks. Cool. Going Mythic. Azata. 9. What are we going to grab here? Now, there's 2 choices in here that I liked. Dimensional Retribution is the one that I'm probably going to suggest to you. Also, Ever Ready is right here. This one's interesting in that whenever you do an attack of opportunity, we get a massive bonus to our attack and damage rolls equal to our mythic rank. So plus 10 to our swing, plus 10 to our damage. The number of attacks of opportunity you can make each round is increased by 2, so you even get more attacks of opportunity. So again, this is really, really, really good. But you need to do attacks of opportunity. You have to set that up. Well, how do you do that? Well, what if they're scared of you? Well, we're doing Cornugon Smash. Also, we could do Shattered Defenses, and we could do Fear Spells and stuff like that. There's a lot of ways to scare guys away from you, and that would give you attacks of opportunity. Also, because you have a better reach weapon, you'd be surprised how stupid the AI is. Like, say this is you. These are the guys clustered around you. Your weapon reaches this far out, so they don't think about it, so they run past you here. They're within the range of your weapon. Like, this doofus will run past you this way to go get this guy back here, and you'll be able to poke him with your stick. Attack of opportunity. And that's nice. So that's a decent one to have. Dimensional Retribution is if you really think that there's going to be a lot of spellcasters fucking with your shit. You hit with a spellcaster, they specifically target you, you can teleport to them within the next 2 rounds instantly. And you don't have to even have a teleportation spell. It just gives it to you because of this. It's kind of cool. Hell, there's even Archmage armor. Remember, I told you you can get this with potions and wands and scrolls. And just not wear armor, chug a potion, and it's going to last you for a decent long while. And it's going to be a plus 14 eventually to your armor class. That's a solid armor class. So again, on you. Let's grab everybody. Sure. Why not? Here I'm going to grab Dominate Animal. Let's make him work for us again, just like we did with the people. Here we're going to get Burst of Glory. I like protection, or buffs for me and my team. I'm also going to grab Greater Heroism. And I'm going to grab Power Word Blind. Let's make him blind and Mass Hold Person. Sounds good to me. Very nice. Okay. Level 19. Almost done, buddy. Here's your level 19. Bam, 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 bam. And what are we going to pick here? Well, we already picked up Improved Cleaving Finish. And picked up Improved Critical for the Glaive. The only thing that's left then for me would be things like Blind Fight. I like that one. It's late, but I don't mind it. Arcane Strike could give you some extra damage. It's not a lot, but it's a toggle that likes to shut itself off, so I'm probably shy away from that. So let's do Blind Fight. Okay, last 2 things we can give you. Level 20 and level 10. From here, more strength. More of that, more of that, more of that, more of that. That's your final stats. 20 athletics, 3 mobility, 17 arcana, 20 perception, and 20 persuasion. Solid, solid numbers. And again, you're going to buff strength. So this number over here is going to be higher. You're going to buff charisma. So this number here is going to be higher. And remember, that's also charisma and strength for intimidation. And of course, this would be wisdom. So not a whole lot of help there. Same with intelligence, not a lot of help there. But there's nothing stopping you getting from intelligence and wisdom gear too. Last level, Azata. And what are we going to grab now? Well, again, that Sorcerer Reflex is just staring at us right there. So is the Emergency Potion. Hell, I can go back here and get a Mythic ability if I so choose. There's nothing wrong with that. But of the stuff that's in here, if they could get it to work, I would like that one better. Hell, we could get a better crit range. Or not crit range, excuse me. A crit multiplier on your weapon. Times 2 goes to times 3. Times 3 goes to times 4. You could hit like a brick shithouse when you crit. Nothing wrong with that. But this would be better, in my opinion, for that Bardiche build. Because, again, remember, crits on a 19 and 20? Yours only crits on a 20. Well, yes, we have improved critical, so now it's 19 and 20. But, again, a Bardiche, where you have improved critical, would crit on a 17, 18, 19, and 20, potentially. So, again, that would probably be better for you. If that's the thing, pick that. From here, though, like I said, I'm going to take the Emergency Potion just to show you how it works. No free spells there. I'll take Hold Monster. I'll take Cloak of Dreams. I'll take Waves of Ecstasy. That's it. Now, I should point out, for the number of spells that we had to pick for your Bloodrager build, you could pick 6 from level 1, 6 from level 2, 6 from level 3, and 5 from level 4. Not counting, of course, your free spells that you get for each of those levels. So it would be 6 plus 1, 6 plus 1, 6 plus 1, 5 plus 1. For the Azata build, we had to pick spells again. And again, it was 6 at level 1, 6 at level 2, 6 for level 3, 2 for level 4, because there was only 2 in that list. We got all of them. 5 for level 5, 4 for level 6, 3 for level 7. And that doesn't include the free spells they gave you. So let's look at the free spells that they gave you. Come on. Show me my spells. Zada. Here's the ones we saw before. Friendly Hug, Second Breath, Sudden Squall, At 6, you unlock things like Joy of Life, Protection of Nature, Rainbow Starfall, pretty decent one. Songs of Steel's good, Winds of the Falls, yeah. 7, Heroes Never Surrender's wrong. It's broken, it doesn't work right, but when they fix it, it's going to be amazing, and you know someone's going to bitch about this because this gave you free spells back. So everyone's going to be like, where's my free spells? And so you know the bug reports on that one alone have been flagged like fucking crazy. Rainbow Arrows is solid and it works nice. Revolt is decent, but it hurts you too, so be careful. Unbreakable Bond works, it's solid for you and your team. Water Torrent's interesting because it softens them up from bludgeoning damage, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, vulnerable to bludgeoning, and that does work. So that's nice. So there's some serious fun to be had there. So, decent amount of spells. And again, as far as spells a day, let's just rest up and show you what we have. Get everything fully charged. Now, back to our spell book. For our Bloodrager, you have 9, 9, 7, and 2. The reason for the massive drop is because, remember, for these 3 of them, we got the +4, +4, +4, thanks to abundant spell casting. Notice we didn't take improved abundant spell casting, which would increase our level 4, 5, and 6 spells, because there's only one set of level 4 spells here. The Azata would have worked. It would have given us 4, 4, and 4 more on these guys. So there was that as a choice, but I decided to opt against it. We got 9 here, 9, 9, 5, 5, 4, and 3. That's a lot of goddamn spells for a dude that's not supposed to really be a spellcaster. Notice how you consider you a Bloodrager 17. That's your spell casting. Remember? Spellcaster level 17, spell pen 17, concentration 19. You really suck as a caster, as a Bloodrager. But that's why you have other things at your disposal. Azata, on the other hand, you're a full caster as far as the game is concerned. 20, 20, and 22 for concentration. It's not amazing, but it's decent. And again, you do have attack spells. Now, we're done talking about that, and I don't really need to show you much of anything. I do want to show you a couple spells that I was very fond of. The Rainbow Dome is one of my favorites. You can make yourself, and anyone on your team, by the way, immune to one of the 5 elements, but only in the bubble that you kick on. And I'm going to give you an example of one right here. Here's the Sonic one. Notice the aura, or the icon here, Rainbow Dome Sonic, and again, it's stationary. You can leave it, go in it, and you can see any of your team. It doesn't work on the bad guys. The bad guys standing in this doesn't get them any protection. But I wanted to show it to you because of this. Here's your pet, and pet has a Sonic Breath weapon. You're immune. How much could it have been? 29d10, baby. And he can do that as many times as he fucking wants. So imagine you fucking just putting your team down, this bubble down in the center of a doorway, blocking the door with your team, pissing off everyone on the other side, having your pet on the other side over here, and blasting them with their Sonic Breath. Tell me that shit ain't appealing. So that was pretty cool. I thought you'd like that one. Other stuff that stood out. Other stuff that stood out to me for spells that you might like. From the Azata side, of course. Let's see. I wrote down ones that work and don't work. So let's go one by one. This one doesn't have a name, but basically it's the Entangle spells. Basically, I can tell you. The tooltip's wrong, though. It says that it only affects enemies. It affects you, too. So it affects your team as well. So be careful with that one. But it does seem to work. Ode to Miraculous Magic. This one doesn't seem to work. It seems to be broken. It's a damn shame. But you got to figure, again, if they fix this before the game is released, this is actually a pretty good spell. Because why? It gives you a +4 bonus to overcome spell resistance. What does that mean? That's basically like saying this gives you and anyone else that you give this to, well, actually it's just you, it gives spell pen and greater spell pen, or the equivalent, for free for many, many minutes. That's awesome for you. Then increases the DC checks of our will saving throw spells. And that's all these fucking Azata spells you're getting. Damn near all of them are going to be will saving throws because they're all enchantments damn near. So again, pretty damn badass if it were to work. And again, for long periods of time. Rejuvenating Poem, we've proven that one does work. That's how we're getting away with being fatigued. But again, eventually you get to the point where you're level 17 Bloodrager officially, and you become a tireless Bloodrager, which means you never crash, which means you don't have to keep wasting this spell every time you get out of a fight. Voice of Renewal, this one works, but it's broken. The bottom part of it works fine. The Channeling Positive Energy, which AoE heals you and your team 1d6 plus 1 per caster level, so it will heal for 1d6 plus 20. Because remember, you're caster level 20 Azata, right? But it's supposed to do the same amount of damage and sonic damage to the bad guys. It does sonic damage to them, but it actually is broken and does like 10d6 sonic damage. So not 1d6 plus 10. So that's kind of cheating. Or 1d6 plus 20, I should say. But it's still cheating. So it's broken. You better figure they're going to fix that one. Level 3, Nature's Grass, Optimistic Smile, and Rainbow Dome. We've already shown Rainbow Dome. You can cast that multiple times. You could literally cast 5 of them back to back to back, right on top of themselves, and be protected from all 5 elemental damages for many rounds if you so choose. There's nothing wrong with that. Optimistic Smile. This one does seem to work. And it's AoE, so it protects you and your team. And removes the effect. So I've tested this in that I've had a teammate that had shaken and feared because I used my fear spell on them. I cast this spell right next to it, and then poof, they were not frightened anymore. And the icon appeared next to their name like this, so that you could see that it's a lasting protection buff. But it says till the end of combat, so I gotta assume that that's going to wear off after the fight's over because it doesn't have a duration. Nature's Grass. This one here works and it doesn't. So let me explain the working part. The first part of it works, where there's a reflex saving throw, a DC check. If they fail it, they get locked up by this spell. They get to move, it seems, so that part's broken. But if they attack you, there's a 50% chance to miss. That does work. And that seems to be persistent. The damage, the next part, where after that round, each round they try another reflex save to break free. They're always going to break free. And you may say, what? Why? Because the DC check on the subsequent DC check is set to 0. And you can check that on your tooltips, and you'll be like, what the hell, dude? And that's clearly a bug report that needs to be submitted. Otherwise, there would be a reflex save. If they failed it, they would be still under the effect of the spell, and then they would start taking some damage, which is not going to be amazing, but it's something. It does look cool. It does look like little black vines or roots, which is what it's supposed to be, entangling the bodies of the bad guys, which is kind of cool. Level 4, Chaotic Healing, straight up broken, doesn't do shit. I should take that back. It does something. Let's see, let me find my list. Chaotic Healing. It's supposed to give you the rejuvenating poem, the optimistic smile, the believe in yourself, which doesn't even exist as far as I know, as far as a spell, that last one. But it's supposed to heal you, and I don't think it does that either. So it doesn't seem to do anything of value. Confusion, no, Deadly Beauty. This one does work, and this is amazing. Long-lasting buff for yourself. DR5 against physical attacks can only be penetrated by adamantine weapons. And if they attack you, they take piercing damage equal to 1d6 plus your caster level, so 1d6 plus 20 every time they swing at you because of the bees stinging them back, which is fucking awesome. Then put this into some context. Not only is this a long-lasting spell, only for yourself, but gives you solid DR, only adamantine weapons penetrate it. Stone Skin does better, where it's DR10/adamantine, but it doesn't bite them back, and Stone Skin can pop because it absorbs too much damage at some point, and then it's no longer on you. So you would have this spell and Stone Skin on at the same time, in my opinion. So when Stone Skin pops, because it'll give you the best protection, when it finally pops, you still at least have DR5 on. So that's awesome. Waterfall does work. It says it works partly. It does the 1d10 bludgeoning damage per 4 caster level, so up to 5d10, I want to say, which is nice. And it's bludgeoning damage. It looks fucking awesome, too. Matter of fact, I'll show it to you in a second. But it literally is just like a big waterfall just crashes down on one guy. Water from the sky, just boom. And it will knock them down if they fail their fortitude check, so that part works. But the become weak to cold doesn't seem to work. And I don't know why that is, because the other spell that's similar to this makes them weak against bludgeoning. And that one does work. So clearly this is a mistake. But if they can get this one to work, this is another reason that cold spells are of value. That's why I kept trying to point out that you do have cold spells and you do care about them. So you have Snowball, you have Frigid Touch, there we go. And you do not have anything at level 3, but you do have at level 4, Dragon's Breath. There is a cold Dragon's Breath in there. So there is reasons to like that spell. Just to point that out to you. So Waterfall is interesting. Level 5, Friendly Hug. This one does work. I did test it myself because I can buff a teammate with it. And then I can zap them with my Innervation spell, and they said immune. So this does work. So that's a very nice spell. That's a lot of protection right there, man. And notice that's immunity from energy drain and mind-affecting effects. That's a lot of shit. That's a really good spell that can be cast on you or a teammate. Matter of fact, I don't know if that can be cast on you. Some of these, they say friendly creature, but that usually means you or a friend. But some of these are broken in that they won't work on you, so be careful with that. The Second Breath restores all companions' ability uses to maximum amount. What do they mean by ability uses? Things like this is an ability. Spirit Weapon Enchantment, she can use that 4 times. That's an ability because it falls under the abilities here. So again, stuff like that. It does not work. It's a damn shame, and you better believe that someone's going to bitch about that, like myself, because that's an amazing upgrade, and that's the one that people be like, fuck yeah, think about, restores all of it, by the way. Think about bardic songs, those are abilities. Think about buffs to your weapons, that's like the Magus ability, that's an ability. Think about, what I'm trying to think of, like Smite Evils, those are abilities. So those things, and just having like multiple times a day where you're just like, nope, everybody gets their shit back. Not spells, but there's another spell for that coming up. Sudden Squall, this one's broken. It works, but you can't aim it. And it says right in the tool description, it says personal target, which means it's centered off of you. So whichever way you're facing is how you will shoot it, so it's hard to line it up. So clearly they'll fix that. But it does work. It does the sonic damage. 3d6 plus 20 is what I noted when I tested it. I'm assuming there's a fortitude saving throw or become disoriented and unable to cast spells for 1 to 3 rounds. That's amazing. So you can see the appeal of that one. Level 6. We got spells like Joy of Life. I can't even test this one. Yeah, this spell restores all companion spells slots up to 5th level. This one does not seem to work. I'm fairly certain I tested that one. And in fact, we can test that right now because all we got to do is burn up one of her spells, like Enlarged Person. Gotta get my team together. They're all staggered and behind. So she's clearly used up a spell slot, right? So the idea would be is if we use that spell, is it Joy of Life, level 6, it should give her her stuff back. See that?
I heed the voice of the
And it didn't give her shit.
Oh, this
Now the downside is I suppose we could have tested it on ourselves, but you see we didn't have to because I'm supposed to have more spells. Let's do like a shield spell on ourselves. I've used up one of my spells. Let's use Joy of Life. See if I get back to 9. Nope. See? So like I said, it doesn't work. Where were we? Level 6. Protection of Nature does seem to work. I haven't tested the immunity to cold, but that's an easy enough one to do. Whenever an enemy casts a spell against you, they do 1 to 6 sonic damage per 5 Azata level. I haven't seen that yet because, again, I can't test it unless I come across bad guys that cast spells. So this might work fully or might not work all the way, but it does work at least for the 50% miss chance and all that fun shit. And it does look cool. Like, yeah, leaves swirling around you and shit. It looks pretty badass. Rainbow Starfall works. However, every time I do it, it seems to do electric attack. It's supposed to do acid, cold, electric, fire, or sonic, and it's supposed to decide when it casts the spell to bolt down on them. Whatever they're more susceptible to is the one that's supposed to strike them. And if that works like it's supposed to, that's amazing. Because that means if I'm hitting a guy, he's immune to acid, cold, electric, and fire, but he hasn't protected from sonic, he'll take sonic damage. So that's nice. I don't have to think about it. And again, you have a target to start the spell. After that, the spell clings to you for 1 minute per caster level, so 20 minutes right now. And you can summon every round. You can just bring another bolt down on a motherfucker. Now, it says it's a maximum of 15 stars. So that's 15 rounds that you should be able to use it. I don't know about that. I never tested that part of it. But I believe it. Still an amazing spell. And again, it behaves other than that. It's just like Call Lightning Storm. Instead of lightning, it can be any of the elemental types. Songs of Steel. This one... Did this one work? Yes and no. It did 2d6 of sonic damage, but not 2d6 plus 20. So there is a bug there. And I didn't see anything about the plus 2 to caster level made to overcome spell resistant, which means spell 10 it gave you for free. Doesn't say anything about concentration checks going up, and I didn't see any DC checks rising either. So if this works, it doesn't. If it gets to the point where this works, this will be an amazing spell. Now, obviously, it doesn't last long, but again, for what it does, that's fine. Winds of the Fall. This is another one of those where you can't aim it. It's a cone. It's centered on yourself and shoots out in front of you. It does work, though. Let's see, Winds of the Fall. It does 10d10 damage, best case scenario for me. And it seems to cause disadvantage. So again, whenever the creature under this effect of them being intoxicated. So there is a will save. If they fail it, they're intoxicated for the duration of that spell, which is 1 round per level at that point. Anytime they make a roll, they roll twice, and they have to take the worst result, which means they're at disadvantage. So if this last part does work, and again, I can't test it because everything dies so quickly. But if this last part does work, this is an amazing spell for screwing over bad guys. Because remember, any roll, that includes saving throws, concentration checks, attack checks. So when they roll the dice to try to hit your ass. You know, disadvantage for that, that's money. Level 7, Heroes Never Surrender. This is the other spell that's supposed to give you all your spells back. replenish negative levels, removes fatigue and exhaustion, etc. and so forth, and it doesn't work either. But again, you got to figure when they tease you with something like this, they'll have to make it work because someone's clicking that bug report like a spastic monkey. From there, Rainbow Arrows does work. This one's amazing and weird all at the same time. Rainbow Arrows, what did you do for damage? 10d12, best case scenario for me, but it bounces through multiple targets, kind of like Burning Arc does. Looks amazing. But everybody that it hits, it randomly rolls on whether it does acid, fire, cold, electric, or sonic damage. So any of those 5 damage types can be hit. But it's not the same. So if it does electric on the first guy, you would assume it's electric for every guy after. It is not. It can be electric, then fire, then electric again, then cold again. So there's no rhyme or reason to it. So it's a random roll each time. So you don't know what you're getting. So it could be game-breakingly awesome, or just like fuck you completely because you bounce electric through a bunch of demons who are immune to electricity. Whoops. So that's the thing. But it's still amazing. Revolt is good, but it hurts you as well, and of course your team, so I'd be careful with that one. But it does sonic damage. I don't remember it doing that much sonic damage. Yeah, it's not 46 plus 20. It does 46, though. So the caster level hasn't been factored in yet, thank God. But there's this other will save part where, again, they will attack their own strongest teammate. If they do, that's awesome. If they don't, whatever. If they don't, though, because they made their check, the way that works is for X number of rounds, they take more damage, sonic damage, for basically overcoming the voices, which if they ever get it to work, that would be an amazing spell. It's kind of like Serenity, but better. Unbreakable Bond, this one does work, and I can test this, and it works for you as well. And the reason I can test this is because I can actually monitor and see the +3 luck bonus to all my saving throws. That's a big bonus to all your saves. DR5/dash, that's again never penetrated by anything. That's not true, but mostly that's true. So again, that's a solid protection buff. Immunity to a variety of things that you would love to be immune to, and you can just see the appeal. And again, it buffs you and anyone within 10 feet of you, ally-wise. I assume they'd have to stay within that 10 feet, so just kind of, tight formation, march your happy way through the fucking dungeon. But that'd be an amazing buff, and it does work. Water Torrent, this is one that does work, and it does make them vulnerable to bludgeoning. And I can test this and prove that to you, because what happens is if I hit you with this, it's a cone, or it looks like a cone, but it's a single target. If I hit you with it, you'll take damage, you'll make the fortitude save. If you fail, you fall down. Also, you're slowed, and then you become vulnerable to bludgeoning. You'll see this icon under their name. From there, if I follow it up with the same spell, or, easier than that, if I do Waterfall, which is again bludgeoning, you will take 50% more damage from it. How do I know that? Because if I maximize this, instead of doing 5d10, which is 50, you'll take 75. So I know it works. So that one's nice. That's a really nice spell. The sad part is there's a part here where it says all allies affected by this wave. It is not a wave. It's literally medium range single target. So why they think there's a wave, I don't know. But supposedly it looks like I said, it looks like a cone, but it doesn't behave like one. If it's a cone and it does help your team, then this last part is a lie, where it makes them not blinded and not fatigued. It's basically like a cure-all spell. It doesn't heal them, but it just cleanses them, so to speak. And I tested that because I blinded one of my characters with my power word blind. Hit her with this thing, and it didn't do shit. So she was still blind after this. Everything was said and done. So it didn't do a damn thing. So that's clearly borked. And that's it. That's all you got, buddy. Remember, your rage is your friend. Just to get you into one more fight, just to be a complete dickhead. Steal that shit.
Onwards.
Just to give you a feel for what your character's capable of doing. Oh, there's one more thing I really need to show you too. Sorry, I knew there was something else. There's a problem with your build. So you see how you can demonic aura? You can literally shit out fire while you're raging, which we're not raging yet. Shut this shit off until they fix this, because it hurts you too. You can make yourself immune to fire, and because it's not like special fire or anything like that, so there is that. But once you rage, you basically are shitting out a fire aura, and that shows up. It's part of your build at some point. It's just free for being the the Abyssal Bloodline that you are. But that you will notice that you take damage, and you're like, what the fuck is damaging me? You were damaging yourself with your fire aura. Notice also, I should be bigger. So right now I am not. Notice also, if I had Sorceress Reflex, I should have been able to cast that spell as a swift action, because it was the start of combat, and it wouldn't let me do that. So again, Sorceress Reflexes is broken. I don't have it right now. Matter of fact, I got the potion one, but it's not the point. Having said that, see if I can demonstrate the swift action of this potion usage. Right, notice down here where it says swift, see the potion icon? Boop, boop, there it is. So again, this is why I say that the swift potion one, the mythic ability that allows you to chug a potion very quickly. And again, any round, any level, it doesn't matter. Just literally just load up with potions of shit that you know you're going to need. Heal potions, not just cure spells, cure light wounds and blah. I mean the heal potions, the big expensive fuckers that heal you for like 110, 120, 150. Because you start taking it on the chin, you're just like, fuck that, back to full. Whoop! And again, swift action, so I can still do this. Bam! See what I'm saying? So I think you will like this build, brother. Hopefully it's what you're looking for. Again, I named her after you. So it's Gladu Mythic. That's your dude. Ooh. I was just big a second ago. Oh, maybe I had enlarged person on myself and it wore off. Boom. Boom. The reason I point out the enlarged person, because it really is that good of an ability, the demonic bulk, I should say, the one that's free for you because you're in an abyssal background, is you get bigger, you get stronger, and your range of your weapon is much larger. So since we're trying to like lop heads off in a fucking circle, obviously the bigger the circle, the better off you are. So that's kind of the point. So again, just to emphasize this, I'll do enlarged person on yourself just to show you what I'm talking about. So enlarged person would be this here. That should be automatic for you. The moment you rage, you should do that. And I don't mean cast enlarged person, I mean you should become bigger. I'm going to take the dragon back a little bit. She's going to kill all these goddamn bugs and piss me off. She does this to me all the time. I'm trying to fight shit. Oh, there's one left for me. Yay, one left for me. Okay. No, the reason I wanted you to be big is I wanted you to see this one thing. First, I'm going to step away from these guys. A decent way. Before we go any further, first look at your strength has gone up 2 because of enlarged person. Again, that would be the same from demonic bulk. That's exactly what would happen. It's basically a self-appointed enlarged person. It only lasts while you're raging, but that's what demonic bulk should do. Again, penalty to dex, bonus to strength, penalty to your swing because you're bigger, but bonus to your swing because you're stronger, bonus to your damage, which you'll appreciate that, because then that's not just plus 8 to your damage, it's actually plus 8, plus 50% more of that, because you're using a two-handed weapon, so that's plus 12 down here. That's nice, that's a nice increase. And again, you get a better weapon category, so it goes up to now to 2d8 of damage, instead of whatever the hell it was, I think it was 1d10 a moment ago. So it does more damage just because of that. And then here's how far it is to reach it. So to give you some frame of reference to some scope here, look how far away you are from the bad guys. If I click one, you see the amount of green dots on the ground underneath my feet? That's how far I would have to step to hit that motherfucker. Look how far away you are, dude. That's how big your circle is. Okay? Now that doesn't mean you only take the minimum step to them. You really should go big, go deep, go into their ass. Be surrounded by them. So that you can go bam, and then you do your cleaving finish. And just kill everything. And that's how improved cleaving finish, I should say, should work. So here's our attack. Nope, right here. Here's our first hit on that bastard. It was a nat 20, so it was a crit, which is awesome. Just destroyed him. Look at that fucking bonus. It's just looking real pretty, too. Notice your plus 10 morale bonus. That's part of your mighty superpower. It's fucking amazing. And of course your damage, just huge. And remember, this is not a magic weapon. This is just a cold iron masterwork glaive, I think. I don't think it's masterwork even for that matter. So that's a hell of a hit. Then we did our intimidation check because the power attack was on, but he's dead, so it don't matter. And he was immune to shaking, so again, it doesn't matter. But because we killed him, we did cleaving finish on the next guy within range. With cleaving finish, that would stop after hitting the very next guy. But you have improved cleaving finish, the big one, all 4 of the feats. And because of that, we could have hit every bug in a circle around you, any enemy, once because of that. And if you happen to kill another guy, it basically resets itself and you go swinging again. This is how you can do like 6, 7, 12 attacks in a fucking circle in one combat round because you improve Cleaving Finish. Again, at full base attack bonus, notice it doesn't say anything about attack 1 of blah blah. That's what you saw up here. Actually, you didn't see it up here because again it was a one and done attack. But not the point. If you were standing still and swinging, you would see 1 of 4. Because of that, you swing once, you hit a guy, kill it, you swing in a circle, kill everybody. Then you go back and start swinging again, swing 2 of 4. Kill a guy, again, goes back and swing in a circle. You will be surprised at how many things you just hit, like these numbers just start cascading off your character because you're just constantly cleaving finish on dudes. When you're fighting guys, the last thing to tell you on this is to make sure to hit the small fries. I mean, get all the big dudes around you too because you're a tanky motherfucker. But you hit the small dude sitting next to him because you're more likely to kill him and then get a free attack on the main boss. See that? Just killing shit in circles. That's what your goal is. Killing shit in circles and scaring guys and intimidating dudes. That's what you do better than anybody. And look at that intimidation check. Remember, this is unmodded. We don't have any real buffs right now. 33 is what we're at. Buff that strength and buff that charisma and give yourself a skill check buff with like greater heroism, which is a spell you have. This could be well into the 40s and 50s. So now the downside would be is are they immune to the shaking condition like these bugs were? That would be the only thing that screws you. But that's when we fall back on just being a cleaving finish motherfucker. I think you'll like this build. With that, my name's Brother Mean. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. If you're going to change it, tell me what you changed, what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.